Not far from Dubrovnik, this island was a strategic outpost fortified by the Venetian Republic, and today is one of the best preserved medieval island towns in the Mediterranean. Tourists enjoy Korčula's Old Town as a quieter, smaller version of Dubrovnik, along with clear blue water, palm-lined streets, wonderful restaurants, and beaches. And on the other end of the island is a beautiful port city with a stunning cave housing one of Europe's most important prehistoric sites. We visit Korčula in Croatia. The island of Korčula lies off the southern coast of Croatia, separated by a narrow strait from the large Pelješac Peninsula. Although there's no airport on Korčula, there are a number of ways to reach it. A new bridge now connects northern Croatia to the peninsula, eliminating the need to drive across Bosnia to reach southern Croatia. We drove up the peninsula to the town of Orebić, where a quick 15-minute ferry brought us to a terminal 3 kilometers from Old Town. Buses from Dubrovnik and its airport also drive up the peninsula and ride the ferry. But the quickest route from Dubrovnik is a fast passenger ferry which docks right at Korčula Old Town in about 2 hours. And a passenger ferry from Split also docks at Old Town. On the other end of the island, Vela Luka is reachable from Hvar by a passenger ferry and from Split by both passenger and car ferries. And buses run across the island between Vela Luka and Korčula town. Korčula was founded by the ancient Greeks in the 6th century BC and later became part of the Roman Empire. The fortifications we see today was built in the 13th century by the medieval maritime Republic of Venice. Back then, the Venetian Republic had grown in strength and reach, and there were many rival kingdoms competing in the Adriatic region. Imagine fleets of tall ships sailing in and out of ports, vying for trade and control, engaging in diplomacy with shifting alliances and fierce battles. Venetian ships were used by armies of the Fourth Crusade, which enabled Venice to also gain initial dominance over Dubrovnik in 1202. But the Republic of Dubrovnik continued to grow, and the two became rivals with periods of cooperation. During that time, Venice took control of Korčula for its strategic central location in the Adriatic Sea. This spot was perfect, allowing them to build defensive walls, towers, and gates to completely encircle and fortify the peninsula. The fishbone street layout was designed to catch the breeze, but protect against strong winds. Today, tourists enjoy Korčula's Old Town, sometimes referred to as a quieter, smaller version of Dubrovnik, with its palm-lined streets with wonderful restaurants and beaches on both sides of the peninsula. If you are here June through September, Korčula holds a traditional Moresca sword dance performance with costumes and live music every Thursday evening, and they add an extra performance on Mondays in July and August. Many historians believe Marco Polo was born in Venice, but Korčula claims to be his birthplace, even though there's no direct evidence. The Marco Polo Center was closed when we were here. It's small, but recently renovated with informative displays on Marco Polo. And museum lovers may enjoy Korčula's Town Museum, housed in an old mansion. Displays include ancient Greek artifacts, Renaissance carvings, sculptures, shipbuilding artifacts, art, and period finished rooms. Up ahead is a tower with an impressive rooftop bar, offering terrific sunset views over the peninsula. After climbing the stairs, you enter the tower and then climb a steep ladder to reach the top. Drinks are raised up on a pulley. We now head to the western end of the island to the port town of Vella Luca, with one of Europe's most important prehistoric sites. Vella Luca was settled in the early 19th century, so it has more of a modern look to it compared to Korčula's old town. Although it's not large, it is the main port town for the island, and I found it quite beautiful. Its deep, wide bay has a large harbor front lined with shops and restaurants, and its surrounding hills have vineyards, olive groves, fig trees, and pine trees. Situated up on a hill with a fabulous vantage point over the town below is a cavern that has been occupied since the last ice age. It is best reached on a 30-minute hike along a pathway with an elevation gain of about 70 meters from the road. We drove up, but the road is extremely narrow and I was glad not to meet an oncoming car. The views up here are fabulous. Although there is not a lot to see in the small cave, I found it quite stunning with 2 natural openings in the roof. Information panels in English and Croatian are on display. Early humans lived in here for over thousands of years with various artifacts buried in dozens of layers, with each depth representing a historical time frame. The oldest artifacts are from 20,000 BC at the end of the last ice age. Back then the sea levels were low, much of the Adriatic Sea was a plain, and Korčula Island was a mountain ridge on the mainland. Pottery, flint, and bone tools were evidence of those early humans who hunted horses, cattle, and deer. Clay figurines of animals were found, and amazingly, are 10,000 years older than any clay objects found in the rest of Europe. In another layer, dating back 10,000 years, well-preserved skeletons of a man and 3 children were found. This time was the Middle Stone Age, when the earth had warmed and sea levels rose to around current levels, and Korčula was now an island. Artifacts show their diet changed to fish, snails, small animals, and fruit. Artifacts from the cave can be found on display at the Vella Luca Cultural Center in town, which has been closed for renovations. If you enjoy my videos, I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new releases. It's free, and sharing with your friends is much appreciated.